Today on First Cup, we're going to talk about free training day and some of the updates. We're going to talk about Tommy Lee Jones. We're going to talk about whatever you all bring to the table and how I think I'm losing my mind. So stick around. We're launching in 15 seconds. Is it crooked? I feel like it's crooked. Let's make it uncrooked. That's more crooked. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Today is Wednesday, September 15th, 2021. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Good morning, Stacy. I can't tell you all yet, but Stacy has given me the best news of like forever. So I'll say this: would be the biggest guest we've ever had on Martial Arts Radio, and because that's going to make all of you assume it's Chuck Norris. It's not Chuck Norris. It'd be cool if it was Chuck Norris, but it's not. So here's the deal. I swear yesterday before I got up, good morning, Daniel, I sat down, I set up a broadcast for today at 6:30, and I posted something in the Facebook group to leave your stuff for today. None of it's there. So I'm losing my mind. That's not a good feeling. You ever lose your mind? Did you find it? Oh. I want to thank everybody watching live and all of you who watch later. I appreciate all of you. It's a less lonely way to start the day. You know? Cut my hair yesterday. This will look right for about, 3 days. And then I'll be unhappy with it. Daniel says, I just came in halfway through that. What did I miss? You got Chuck? No, we didn't. We did not get Chuck Norris. And the irony is the more I say that, the more people are going to assume it's Chuck Norris. But it's not Chuck Norris. But wouldn't it be funny if it was? But it's not. Oh, that coffee's really warm. Oh. How was your Wednesday? I had a pretty good Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. How was your Tuesday? I had a pretty good day. Went and got... Justin and I talked about a bunch of stuff in Martial Journal. We have a timeline for issue 2 that should be quite reasonable. We've got a handful of things we got to knock out first. Justin is going to be at Free Training Day. A lot of what we're going to talk about today is Free Training Day, because I'm hoping as many people will come as can come, because it's an exceptional event that just keeps steamrolling. We've got people who are flying in this year, and not just one or two. What are we up to? 4? 5? There are a number of people flying in and plenty of people driving, 5, 6, 8 hours to get to this one-day event. It's pretty darn cool. Good morning, Jenny. Yes, Daniel, we got someone else big. This is a big name. He's speculating Jean-Claude Van Damme coming on to follow up his How to Fight. No, but he's welcome to do that. And yeah, Stacey, you'll get to meet everybody. Everybody gets to meet everybody. This is going to be really fun. We might have to schedule like a meet and greet for all the hugs, all the you and your moments that are going to happen. So this week we dialed in the shirt. Shirt's available live. I made a flyer, which is basically the shirt. Flyers live. It's all on the Facebook page. Free Training Day. I mailed out the flyer to the roster of instructors. Oh. We have one alternate already set, just in case. We'll probably need 1 or 2 alternates because there are 20 people. And somebody in the next 2 months is going to have something come up because it's how things work. Good morning, Frank. And it's gonna be great. I've been thinking a lot about Free Training Day this year, and all the things that we could do And I'm just keeping it as simple as we can. Now I mentioned it yesterday, get your shirt, because there's something special going on. If you wear your shirt, if you have your shirt, you should have your shirt. How do I want to say it? Let's just say, people who show commitment will be rewarded. That's all I'm going to say. Daniel's got a real thing when I leave these banners up. I appreciate you mentioning it here. I'm going to put this one up. Because if somebody pops in and hasn't seen the show before, it tells them a little bit about what's going on. I am not dissimilar from a big gray banner. There's not a lot of color going on here. I'm pale. I mean, some of these spots are turning grayish, right? I don't know. The next steps on free training day are working with the instructors to figure out their sessions and coming up with topics that they can teach adequately in short periods of time to people they've never met, and having things that are not overly similar to each other. And I think I've already received 3, 4, I saw some came in overnight, 5 of the 20 come back. Andrew and I talked yesterday and mentioned, hey, we got to figure out what we're going to do, but we don't have to figure it out yet because we just don't. Jared's speculating. Bruce Banner? Oh, you're calling me Bruce Banner. Not Bruce Banner. Well, thank you, Frank. Frank says I'm a handsome young man. I appreciate that. No, not too many people call me young anymore. I'll take it. Stacy says, I know what we are doing. Yeah, you do. Stacy and Laura will be reprising their breaking session, I'm sure, in some way, because it's a heck of a lot of fun. And what else would you expect from Team Smashy Smash but breaking? I'm excited for that. Yeah, so Andrew and I had a call yesterday. We talked about martial arts radio. We talked a lot about ways that we're looking to improve the show. So there are a number of things that we're going to start rolling out, starting with the next new. There's one in the can that we have that's been recorded that we haven't implemented yet. So I think it's going to be with Q&A number 8. We're going to roll some of these things out. And it'll take us a few months, but ultimately, one of the things we want to do, because of this software here, this thing that we already pay for, we can do some of the stuff live and bring people on. And so that's all kind of cool. So we're going to slowly roll into that and see how that goes. Because why not? Constantly experimenting, see what works, learn from the experiments, move forward. Iterative progress. That's how we do everything. It's how we get better at martial arts. It's how we get better at life. Jenny says that gray is the salt and pepper as you become more seasoned. I like it. Well, no, that's there's a joke. And I'm not going to make it because it's horribly inappropriate. Jenny, remind me. I'll tell you later. It's really bad. Not suitable for sharing with the public. What else happened? So I went to the orthodontist and they did a bunch of scans of my mouth to see what else we're going to do for the Invisalign because I'm on my 25th tray. We started this process a little over 6 months ago. And where else how much refinement do they need to do? I don't know. But super neat. They take pictures as you might expect. But they have this, it's a handheld 3D scanner. And the technicians pulling my lips away and oh. And what comes out is this really insane 3D model on a touch screen right here that you can rotate. And now that I've been in there and spent thousands of dollars, I'm a little more confident. Hey, can I play with that? Yeah, sure. So like I can see my mouth in not in real time because it's a scan, but it puts the pieces together. And so if there's a gap, she's like, "Oh, I got to get in there." And she's like, "Arr." And few of you probably nerd out on technology the way I do, but think about it. She's not telling the program where she's scanning. It knows because it establishes it takes measurements and it knows, okay, here's this sequence. This must be here because there's no other spot in the mouth that's here. It's these unique values. So we've got to plug this data in here. And it's super neat and get to see this 3D model of the inside of your mouth. You've never seen the inside of your mouth other than pictures. And so being able to see this, it's really surreal. And there's absolutely no reason to do it otherwise. But it's so cool that if I'd seen someone else do it, I might go to a dental office that had it, just say, how much do I have to pay for you to do this? Just so I can like look at it because it's really cool. And they would think I was nuts because maybe I am, but I think it was pretty cool. Jenny says, sounds very Star Trek. Yeah, it kind of is. But that was it. So they took this scan and they're like, we're going to send this off. And then they're going to tell us what to do with your face. If you remember, these used to be really crooked. Now they're not. Kind of cool. Chris is off to the dentist today. I hope it's for minor things, my friend. Hope they're not, I don't know. It's been such an interesting ride. A couple years ago, I had a referral to an orthodontist, and he said, yeah, we can straighten your teeth, but we're going to have to pull one of them. And I was like, no. And this dentist was a referral from a different practitioner. You probably don't remember, last year was the year of teeth when I spent all of my savings on teeth. It was insane. Because I had one cavity on this crown, under this crown, from when I got kicked by the weirdest, most errant kick ever freshman year of college. So that crown lasted 20 years. And the prosthodontist said, go see this guy. This guy's good. And I went and saw that guy. He was like, yeah, we can do this. And I said, well, last guy I talked to said we had to pull teeth. And he's like, no, we don't have to pull teeth. That's ridiculous. Yeah. So they actually, oh, Chris needs a crown. I'm sorry. They actually took like these little strips of basically sandpaper and filed in between my teeth to make the space. They just did a little bit in between each of them in the front. And that's all it needed. How crazy is that? Like, that's insane to me. It's like the world's most aggressive floss. What's going on today? Oh, and we recorded the 5th How to Fight episode yesterday. A movie I had not seen, a movie Andrew had not seen, a movie I'm going to guess most of you have not seen. What movie is it? You'll have to wait to find out. It'll be out a month from tomorrow. I've got to get some things ready on it. But the Monday episode with Cynthia Rothrock's doing well. People are super pumped on that one. The Thursday episode, How to Fight Kickboxers, doing How to Fight Kurt Sloan is doing really well. You know, we're trying. We're trying for you. We're doing everything we can for you. So. And now Dennis is overdue for a checkup. Dental half hour, not hour. Dental hour at First Cup. Well, so today it's Wednesday. Got to do the books. Got some client stuff. I think I have one call this afternoon. Going to karate, and that's it. I mean, it's long. It's the whole day. I won't be back till after 9 o'clock. It's a long day. It got me curious with the Tommy Lee Jones in the banner. Yeah, we're talking about Tommy Lee Jones. And Daniel says, now she was a big get for the episode. She was. Almost Chuck levels of big. Susanna's in there saying hi. She was. It was a big get. And I had a great conversation with her. You know, one of the things I've found is that A lot of the famous people, because they have so many people who are just like, oh, I want your attention. I want you to validate me. I want to tell you how much you mean to me. I don't do that. It's not. I had moments when I met Bill Wallace where I was like, but within minutes, he was just a guy. He treated me like a person, so I treated him like a person. And now we're friends. I'm not going to say we're great friends, but we're friends. I could text him right now, and he'd text me back. Maybe not right now, but later. He's a good man. And that's helped me understand that if you treat celebrities like people, they will treat you like people. And that's what happened with Cynthia. Once I got on the horn with her, Zoom, it was just talking to a normal person. And then once we closed the show, we chatted about stuff and had that fun anecdote that we got to stick in at the end. I'll see her in January in Atlantic City. I don't know what's wrong with that vehicle, whatever it is, but it should get it checked. I'll see her in Atlantic City, and that'll be cool. Stacy says they put their pants on the same way we do, celebrities. They do. And Chris says she's super cool. She is. All right. So Tommy Lee Jones. So Frank punched in some stuff on Tommy Lee Jones. On this day in 1946, Academy Award-winning actor Tommy Lee Jones was born. Among the numerous films he's been in include Under Siege opposite Steven Seagal in 1992. Now we've got a number of films that we could talk about that Tommy Lee Jones has acted in that are martial arts films. And while Tommy Lee Jones is not a martial artist, he does, if you think about the roles that he plays, tell me that there isn't a Miyagi vibe to him. Here's a non-martial arts movie, Men in Black. No, I'm thinking of the wrong movie. I'm not awake. Hold on. Give me a second. What? Oh, is that your four-wheeler? Why are you running your four-wheeler? Hold on. Yeah. I had a moment where Tommy Lee Jones in my brain was not Tommy Lee Jones. It wasn't good. Okay, now we got Tommy Lee Jones. Okay, Tommy Lee Jones in Men in Black. Tell me that there aren't kind of Miyagi vibes in there. It's his 75th birthday. Why are you doing this? Somebody on a side-by-side, just like driving up and down. I don't know. Maybe they're bringing kids to the bus. They're still talking about pants in the chat and how to put your pants on. I don't know. You guys are crazy. All right. Coffee. Back to this. As a child of West Texas, I identify with Hispanic culture every bit as much as I do North American culture. Okay. I don't know what to do with that. I bet a lot of us who have trained in Asian martial arts in a non-appropriative way identify with Asian culture. We've had a lot of people on the show who, some of them even before they started training, seemed to identify with Chinese culture, Japanese culture, or even Korean culture, and made the choice to move and immerse themselves, sometimes during or after martial arts training. And I find that really interesting. I wouldn't say I identify with other culture. I embrace a lot of cultural elements from things that, aren't my heritage. But setting matters. Setting context is relevant. Sometimes you guys type things in here and I don't know what you're referencing. Because there's a delay. There's a delay between what I say, you hearing it, you typing it, and me seeing it. The most important question in American cinema I've learned is, when is lunch? It's a guy who's been around for a while. Like Sam Elliott. I like Tommy Lee Jones as an actor. He's always confident. He's got that presence. He's got that same presence that kind of a grizzled old martial arts instructor would have. Just tell me if Tommy Lee Jones walked in wearing a black belt and stood at the front of a class that you were about to take, you wouldn't think, yeah, I believe it. Yep, I could see that. Absolutely. Oh, is the vehicle stuck? No. Are there other martial arts films he was in? Let's check Tommy Lee Jones. Whew, 84 films. I wouldn't call Jason Bourne a martial arts movie. We're looking some more. He's been in a lot of action movies that I think you could make the argument were... No, I guess Under Siege really is the only one. In my mind, there was more. And you know why? I'll tell you why. Andrew's going to love this. You're all going to love this. It's ridiculous. I said Tommy Lee Jones, and I had a moment where my brain managed to combine Tommy Lee Jones and James Earl Jones, because they're both three named Joneses. Yep. So you know what movie I'm referencing. Then it says Tommy Lee. Yes, I could absolutely see that. Yeah, just you walk in, and you're like, who is that? Is that Tommy Lee Jones in a gi or a dobok or whatever at the front of the room? And he tells you to line up, and you're gonna line up. There's no need to drive a vehicle that loud before 7 a.m. It's rude. It's rude. I dislike it. Dennis is pretty much going where my brain went. Come on, best of the best has Darth Vader. Yep. All right. Next one, probably last one. Where are we? Ethnic stereotypes are boring and stressful and sometimes criminal. It's just not a good way to think. It's not thinking. It's stupid and destructive. Where do generalizations come from? A lack of nuance, a lack of willingness to, invest emotional energy in understanding people or subjects as specifics. We make broad generalizations, and we need to stop. And the people that do are usually wrong. And I've learned that it's a good indication of someone who either does not possess the intellect or perhaps the effort, the energy to approach life in a way that I want to be around them. It's been a pretty good filter. Daniel says, what is it they're driving? Sounds like a mower. Yeah, I'm going to guess you don't have these in the UK. And if you do, probably not where you live. Imagine a car, and I'm guessing you know what a four-wheeler is. Imagine a car and a four-wheeler had a baby. It's a 4-seater four-wheeler, basically. See, I'm going to pick on Susanna for a minute. Oh, never mind. I'm reading it. There are 2 ways you can read that. Yeah. Okay. Prejudice comes from a hardening of the attitudes. Yeah. And she says, they also believe the world is as large as their small town. Yeah. Well, this has been my experience, so anything that is counter to my experiences is wrong, or at the very least, grossly inflated. And that happens all over the place. Doesn't matter the subject. We're not even going to pick subjects, because most of you are going to go to something that is political or political adjacent, and we don't do that on this show. I don't like talking about politics. Why don't I like talking about politics? Because most people can't handle the nuance. Most people, when they talk politics with me, will throw up their hands because they get exhausted. Because they can't talk details, they don't have the data, and I do a lot of research. Yeah. And he says, yeah, we don't have those, like a quad bike crossed with a car. Exactly. Stacy says, oh, there's nuance again. There's always nuance. Nuance comes back to nuance all the time. So here's a question for the chat, and I think we'll end up here. So you all seem to agree that this presence of someone like Tommy Lee Jones stepping into a martial arts class would work. You'd buy it. You'd listen to him, at least until you find out he doesn't know anything. What is the most random person you could imagine that you could walk into a martial arts school and see them ready to teach that you would believe as a teacher? Now, it has to be someone that you have no knowledge of them doing martial arts. So like a great example, Ed O'Neill. He's a black belt in BJJ. So even though that's weird and random, you can't pick him. Same thing with Forrest Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker would be completely random, but he's trained. So who would it be? I've got, Stacy says Liam Neeson. Jenny is saying Ashton Kutcher. Those are two good ones. Liam Neeson, I think, would be brilliant. Fun fact, if I had a whole bunch of money, I would want Liam Neeson to narrate my life. Who could I think of? Who would? Sam Elliott? I pretty much, anytime I'm thinking of someone with gravitas, it comes back to Sam Elliott. Stacy says Gibbs from NCIS. I don't watch that show. Slider says recently found out Joaquin Phoenix is a black belt. I didn't know that. Daniel points out Pat Morita had no training and now he's the face of karate teachers. Yeah. A lot of that was Fumio Demura's influence. If you haven't seen The Real Miyagi, or listen to my interview with Fumio Demura, or listen to our profile episode of Fumio Demura, you might want to. So to say he had no training, it's true, but in the context of those movies, he understood martial arts. He understood karate. He got it. In a really powerful way. All right. So I'm going to go and schedule tomorrow's episode because I'm going to do it before I get up because maybe that's what I did yesterday. I was spaced out. And I'm going to leave something over on Facebook for y'all to post on. And I swore I did it yesterday because I'm pretty sure I even saw I saw Tommy leave something. Some of you are leaving articles. I'm not going to be able to share that article. That's not quite how this is going to go. It needs to be a question or a comment because I'm not going to read the article out loud. I'm not going to have time to read the article ahead of time and come up with discussion thing. So what I'm looking for when I post in the Facebook group is the kind of questions that you all would leave in the chat or the comments that you would leave in the chat. So that's the stuff we're looking for, okay? Frank says, Tom Selleck. Yes. There's a lot of mustaches happening. Something about a mustache conveys authority. Is that why cops have mustaches frequently? I don't know. And Dennis says, Fumio Demura is the man. I completely agree. Completely agree. All right. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you smile and laugh and eat tasty food and train and have nuance and positivity. And I'll see you back here tomorrow because we do it every weekday, 6:30, right here on whatever platform you're watching on. Facebook, YouTube, and this week we're doing Twitch. We'll see what happens. Okay. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.